Yesterday we were forced to swap the engine on Jan's car due to some damage we saw after the last event. So we're facing a penalty as it looks now on that car. We have an engine coming that we need to get rest, and we have some parts that need to be prepped. But other than that, the focus is today on the car.
Hi, my name is Christian Strömberg. I'm a mechanic on Santi's car.
My name is Ida Strömsås and I'm also a mechanic on Santi's car.
So the driver tells the engineer what he needs for the car to go faster, and the engineer tells us, and it's up to us to make the changes during the sessions and between.
During the weekend, I think the big changes we're doing is the setup changes on the car. Between the race weekends, there is more rebuild of the car, because during the weekend it's quite tight schedule. The race weekend starts for us already on Wednesday, then we're flying out to the track. So Thursday and Friday is just setting up the boxes, preparing the car, and then we're also staying one day longer to prep the car for the next race.
Depends on what happens. If you have a crash or just a lot of maintenance, the day can be really long.
We are here to win, so that means we need to stay here until the car is done.
Santi is new in the team for this year. So far we're getting along very good. He's easy to work with and have a good understanding for our job.
Of course it takes some time to learn each other. Our engineer is new for this year and also the driver.
It's never fun to see your car smashed up and you don't know if you will make it to the next session or race. But the good side of it is that he can be really fast.
The car is fine, yeah, no problem. Everything is okay.
Friday is a bit easy for drivers. We have like drivers meetings, track walk, and the guys prepare the car, we do the setup. It's really good atmosphere with drivers, engineers, mechanics. I feel I was at home already from the beginning, so yeah, really happy.
Okay, yeah, thank you. FIA Women in Motorsport want to make a story with all the female in the WTCR, so now I'm going to take a photo for them. Last year it was another female mechanic, this year it was only me. Before WTCR I did the World Rally Championship, and then I did also a bit of the World Rallycross Championship. So it's not often I do things like this. This is obviously just because I'm a female. But I think it's also important to show other girls that it's possible to reach this level in the daily basis. I don't think about that I'm a female, to be honest. I want other people to treat me as one of the other guys in the team, and I think they're doing it as well.
Now we have started with the setup of the car. So in the bottom of these hubs there is a scale, so we get the values on the computer. The weight of the car changes to one race weekend to another, depends on the results.
Now I'm changing the camber on the car. Now we will measure the toe. The first thing we need to do is to make sure that this line is in the middle of the car. So then we are measuring the center. Then we can check what the toe is with these two.
We use the laser to measure the height of the splitter. We can also adjust the splitter to the measurement we need to be legal on the ride height.
Which one is the old one? You need some muscles?
Yeah, come on, muscle boy.
So unfortunately we got issues and we have to change the engine, and that means the penalty is to start last on the next race. So it was safer to sacrifice race 1 and have a good chance for race 2 and 3. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the championship, so every point will be important. But it's the way it is, you know, you can't change things like this, so you have to adapt around that.
So no pressure?
The pressure is in the tire, nowhere else.
Now we go into the FIA flat patch.
Here we are checking the weight of the car, also if the car is not too low.
If you not have the legal measurements after qualifying a race, you can be disqualified. We can make some changes and maybe have the car a little bit lower and still be legal. So that is the last thing we're gonna do before we are all ready for tomorrow morning. Early morning before we start.
They've got 10 minutes for Jan to get into the top 12.
The goal was to have all 4 cars in the top 10, which we didn't manage to do. Jan did 3 attempts. On the first one he was reported for track limits, which means they had to redo it. On the second he made a mistake and went wide in one corner. And then he didn't put it together on the third one, unfortunately, so he's starting far back on the grid.
LHA do not progress and will start way down the order.
It's a bit of pity because actually my rival in the championship is just with me now. So I mean it's good on one way, but it was the perfect time to make a proper break and make sure that we can grab this title. And now everything is to be done again.
Talk us through what's going on. Track limits, car issues?
I got track limit in my first run, which I think it didn't exist, but yeah, it's just a fact, so that's the case.
We changed the tires from 4 used to new ones in the front. The used one goes in the rear.
Now the car is in park family of the Q3, so we're not allowed to touch it, to work on it. It's because we want some technical controls.
For me, it was a good qualifying session. The P3, the last 2 races have been really bad for me because I don't like to be in the back of the field. So when you bounce back and you're here in the top, obviously the self-confidence, as a driver goes up and you feel like, now we can do it again. Everybody of us needs to be able to perform to win the championship.
So you agree with that, Paul?
I didn't hear anything to what he said. I wasn't listening to him at all.
He said, do you agree with me?
Yeah, of course, I always agree with him. Yeah. It's like having a wife.
We've been here since 6:30 this morning. Now it's 7 o'clock in the evening. I think we'll be here, probably 1 or 2 more hours. Then we are done for today and the car is ready for the races tomorrow.
It's not the momentum to have a feeling anymore. Now it's the momentum to be focused, to be flat out on the first lap.
The only thing we will do out on the grid is to change the tires from front to rear and the rear to the front.
And why do you do that?
And I hope they will very well. So then.
Of course we will do that. It's much easier to get the heat in the front tires. So then we are putting the front tires to the rear, so we also get some heat in the rear.
So in 2 minutes, it's start of race 1, and hopefully the car will come back almost the same.
Away they go, not a long hold. '68 Jan Erlosche, he's right side by side with his championship rival 86. Jan Erlosche starting from nearly in Madrid on this grid mat, already up from 20th, almost into the top 10. It's days like these that are the big days, not necessarily the ones where you win.
Not in garage, no.
Just leave it on the pit lane. On stand.
Please put car on skids so that we can mount it in.
I think it's like strapped up now or down.
I was pushed out in the start, so I got stuck a little bit, and then I immediately decided to help Cyan, and then I got a hit from one of the Hyundais down in the hairpin. Not puncture, but I think something is broken, so we have to stop.
Santiago Rucha second, Jan Erlosche clinging on to 11th position.
The top finish guys in the race 1, they park up here, and then it's the normal scrutineering procedure, the technical control.
We could have 3 cars in there right now. A broken suspension is that. I mean, it was quite. We have a car on the podium, which is a great start for us. Unfortunately, Ted DNF due to broken suspension, but we scored points with both Ivan and Jan as well, so really happy with race 1.
This weekend I use 2 helmets. That's the one I use mainly since the beginning of the season. So basically it's the same, Ivan and me. This one I use it for race 1 this weekend. That's my Macau helmet from last year. The Macau racetrack, the game in the casino. I feel this track is special and I wanted to pay a tribute on this track.
Before race 2, we will have a look at the setup and see if everything is fine, but it looks like we don't have any repairs today.
Race 2 in Aragon is about to get underway. Looking at Barmola, trying to fight his way by Tarquini. Contact with Ted Björk. Here's Magnus on the inside.
Erlosche having a run on Leinster.
Santiago Rucha going for another podium today. Barmola second, Santiago Rucha in third.
some contact, maybe in the start I think, but it looks like we were really lucky to not have a puncture.
Really exciting race 2 with a lot of passings. We ended up on the podium with both Ivan and Santi, so really happy for that. Jan also managed to do a good race. Unfortunately we have some problems with Ted, but overall really happy with the race.
Soon starts the refueling time, and then we have 5 minutes to fill up the car. We are always measuring in kilos and not in liter to have more control of the weight of the car. We managed to change the brakes during the repair time, both disc and pads, so now they are fresh for the race range.
The green flag waves. We are about to go racing for the third and final time today in Aragon. Whoa! Big mistake from Luca Engstler. Change per second. Arusha's gone through around the outside of the Audi. What a weekend the Uruguayan driver is having. Erlachey's pulling over. Josh Fars is going to go by. Erlachey into view for Guerrieri, and it's only because Erlachey's car has gone sick.
He had no power.
Now it's just about getting every point that's humanly available to him. Ted Buer claiming his first win of the season. Santiago Arusha taking second.
Mixed emotions, I must say. Really happy for Ted and Santi that did a brilliant job finishing P1 and P2. Unfortunately, we're suffering some technical issue on the racing cars, but still managed to get some points. Santi has done a fantastic job ending up on the podium in all 3 races. So really happy for him. He did the best weekend of our drivers.
The car was flying the whole weekend, 3 podiums, very, very happy. Great win for Ted, he deserved. He's a great guy, great driver, so I'm very happy for him.
It was fantastic to share a podium with Santi because I saw him behind me, chasing me hard. And I was thinking, you know, Santi is a fast driver, so I need to do everything right just to keep the speed up. And then he said to me afterwards, yeah, you were super fast.
We have increased the gap a little bit in the league, which is really positive. That's now been presented that we're going back here to do the final as Adria is cancelled.
Now the race weekend is over, so we already started to prep for the next race weekend.
Yeah, in normal circumstances, we're gonna tear down the box as well, the screen walls, floors and everything. But this time we are lucky and we don't have to do that.
So it's quite nice to don't need to pack down everything, so we can focus more on the car.